Well, I'm on my way to the Meadows. I got there as early as I could today. We were short 2 people today again, and that meant it slowed the process of today's training down exponentially. So I had myself slated in for 5 sets. I could only go with 4 sets, and the last set, well, I'm getting there 17 minutes before the race today. So that's how tight a shave it was for the 4th set even. So I'll tell you with what I know, and then I'll give you an update from what I heard from Jason McGinnis about the last 2 sets. First set I was really happy with. Cherry's girl first start with the hobbles on. She was perfect. Who did I go? Captain Doolittle. Captain Doolittle was a training set winner today in 2:41. He looked very good doing it. I cut it all out. I got over the half in 25. So last half in 16, which is plenty fast, especially on a day we were kind of just backing them all up a little bit. Captain Doolittle was very, very good. Now, I'm going to try and... Everybody was behind me, so everything I got was third person, second person. So, Cherry's girl I saw finish up in behind me. She was good. Degas was good. He's a Fearless Peter was very good. He was right beside me finishing up. Second, Leland Hanover closed up in behind. Don't Ask again was good. And up the inside, Amy came with Perfection Hanover, charging through the inside late to, I think she was third, I guess. But everybody in that set looked really, really good. So the start of the day was great. You know, here I am going with the horse set. We're trying to get on track and keep on track. Now, his last 3 training sessions, I thought he was very good. Today was the strongest he's ever been, which is not shocking. When you have 3 good training miles in a row, obviously you're going to have the horse at his best or her best on that 3rd or 4th training set. And it's not, I guess I should clarify, I don't mean 3rd training set ever. I mean, when you have 3 in a row, especially a horse that's been working, been jogging since we brought everybody in October, November, just hasn't really put it all together right. He was flawless. He didn't get at himself today, and he was very strong. When I called on him on the end of it, he held off. He's a Fearless Peter, Perfection Hanover. Perfection Hanover is getting strong. The only thing I can notice is he's still a little boggy in the hocks. We had them x-rayed. There's nothing there. And I would never advocate for doing vet work on a baby, but I was wondering what Dr. Latessa's thoughts were on it, helping clean that up a little bit, i.e. a little cortisone in there maybe, if he thinks it'll be helpful. I have no idea. So I've been meaning to ask him about that. He's going to have to do some splints over the next week or so, so I guess it's something he can mull over and maybe we can chat about. But very happy with the way the entire first set went. Now, I went with Megan's Lucky Day, who has been, again, much like Captain Doolittle, but in a very different way. Captain Doolittle has been getting better, right? Megan's Lucky Day has been fast, but a little fractious. Being a little kind with the word. A little fractious. She was really fractious for quite a while. Put it all together, and what I liked about her is we put the gear on her, and I told you guys, and it's going to come up in a minute, these Uncle Peters, you know, January through February, even into March, they can get their screws start to loosen a little bit, and they need tightening down, and the only way to do it is work. I've seen it time and time again. Aunt Lily was the same way, and actually, if you go through the entire roster of the best Uncle Peters we ever had, come January, February, March, go back and look at their videos. They were all a little quirky, a little rude, a little ignorant. And our Peters were no different this year. Megan's Lucky Day, though, conformed maybe quicker than I've ever seen anybody do it. She was rude, ignorant. We changed her gear, put a pretty severe head check bit in her mouth, and just made her do her work. And lo and behold, she found she was good at it, and the sweetest filly to drive now. She was perfect today. I could not get to... Who did I not get to? Emerald Tom. Emerald Tom came first, second over behind Royal Duchess. I let Royal Duchess go down the backstretch, and Emerald Tom dummied us today. He was very, very good again. I was closing hard on the outside to be second. Royal Duchess was third. Sterling Hanover actually caught my eye. Kind of weaved through and charged through the inside, past 2 horses down the lane, and again after the wire kept going, so getting better and better. I told you guys this would happen too, and Amy's doing the best thing. Just keep him covered, keep him covered, keep him covered. When he wants to go, then it's ready to then, you know, then it's time to rock. And he was very, very good today. Emerald Tom he's amongst the top of the class right now. He looks exceptionally good. So a really good set in there. In New York was there. Steph's Hope had to know. Everybody stayed at it and everybody did their work good. A very, very good set number 2. Now, set number 3, we go on the track and Amy had Pretty Eyes and Lies, who's been super strong. And I took all the gear off Neuromancer. I had put the boots on him because we were running late and they didn't have the bandages on him. I said, throw a set of boots on him. So we put the boots on him. I took his knee boots off. He did brush his knee twice. There's 2 little marks on his outside knee. I'm not too worried about. The fact that I had a head pull and Murphy blind to the left kind of pushed him to that knee anyway a little bit. Is there room to move, or do we just go ahead and put a knee boot back on that outside knee? Inside one's fine. Outside one he might have brushed once or twice. But we were going around and Amy goes, he took all the gear off that horse, put a head pull on him and a Murphy blind. She goes, I'm going to like watching this. I'm very curious to see what he's going to do. I said, your biggest problem is you're going to have a tough time keeping up to him. She laughed about it. I moved him coming to the half. We get over the half in 22, and I can the last half in 12 and dummy them. Now, they didn't go. I went 34. I'll be completely honest with everybody. But Neuromancer's been itching to go a mile now for a while. He's been out of gear. He's been, we talked about this. The quarter crack on his left hind and his right hind was so weird. I'd never seen that before in a baby. And he was just, now we had egg bars on him behind. Would he trot? How comfortable would he be? I let him jog along a little bit yesterday. I said, geez, he feels pretty good. Today, he was lights out awesome. And driving off, driving away. Once in a while, I let him eat a little bit, right? Any of those horses, a big, strong stud colt. And anytime he wants to get at it and do his work, especially after being so polite and so focused the first part of the mile, I had no problem cutting him loose and letting him go. He was very good. Amy's filly knuckled over. I could hear her knuckle over in behind me getting into the last turn and made a break. A very, very rare break for her. And it wasn't a mechanical break. She just knuckled over and lost herself. When I say knuckled over, you'll see them kind of trip behind. We'd call that knuckling over. You put a blister on her stifles. Amy said she hasn't been blistered in a few weeks. Stay on them with the Baycocks. Again, as I say that out loud, I'm always skeptical about that catch-all, Baycocks treatment. But we do generally treat them as many people do when they're knuckling over a lot, a little sloppy in their stifles. But they're growing up. She could be going through a growth spurt. It could be just as easy and as explainable as that. And she's always good. She's not one of those horses that knuckles over a lot. And she was very, very good today. Has been very, very good leading up to today. Neuromancer was exceptionally good. Now, again, everybody was in behind me. I saw Capistrano Knights kind of out of the corner of my eye after the mile coming towards me. She was good. Love Sensation, Supermind, Eric said it was fantastic. The only miscue of the entire day thus far had been Pretty Eyes and Lies. It wasn't really a big deal. Waving out the fourth set, last set. A bit of a kerfuffle in the fourth set. Rose Run Bobby, oddly enough, is an Uncle Peter. And she's been getting away with a lot. Amy loves his filly. She goes there. She's been getting away with murder for the last few weeks, acting up, making breaks when she shouldn't, kind of throwing herself, being a little hotter than she should, just being disobedient. But I was going to let it play out. I was working with Megan's Lucky Day, and my dance card was full anyway, and today she acted out again. Amy did, and Amy was mad at me a little bit. I told her, put her on somebody's helmet and leave her there, and she was climbing all over Joey. Joey ended up getting pushed forward, making a break, and she made a break. I was sitting last with Blue Rare, and Jason cleared to the front with Steady Volo. Tomboy Strong was the one that get interfered with and made a break. Amy's on the run. Judy's Money was behind me, and Royal Flush Dio for some reason made a break starting into the backstretch. I trained that colt the other day, and he was very, very good. I don't know what got into him today or what happened, but he was exceptionally good the other day. So I hadn't talked to Jason yet. I don't know what happened. Regardless, Steady Volo cleared to the front, opened up 8 lengths on some breakers, and I just waited for the dust to settle, and I cut Blue Rare loose. I guarantee you I was at least 9 lengths behind Jason. Halfway around, or getting into the last turn, I run him down. Blue Rare, well, it changes all the time. I didn't go with Steady Volo. I did not go with Perfect Thought. So it's unfair for me to say anything, but I would have a tough time not believing Blue Rare is their best horse right now. She is a very, very, very strong filly. The downsides are obvious and the same every time. She's a muscle mass. Will she have allergies that bother her? She came in, she had a lot of snot in her nose. We put her on supplements. I didn't see any snot today, and I haven't seen any snot for a couple of weeks. So she's clearly getting better. And I'm not going to be one. I'm not going to say, oh, it's clearly the supplement. We put her on the supplements, and she's better now. We'll leave it at that. Muscle mass knees play a role, so she's on adequate. And I asked Dr. Mike and Dr. Katie to have a look at her today. Any sort of discomfort in her knees, are they worth shock waving? Now, again, I don't know. Does it work the same on racehorses as it does with younger horses? It's a great conversation to have. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe it's different for every horse. Maybe she's fine. It's no big deal. She's not online. She doesn't wear a pole or a Murphy blind or anything. She can trot the turns as faster and she trots straightaways. Just a question. I want to be proactive with this filly. I want to do whatever I can to make sure her airway and her allergies aren't bothering her, aren't compromised in any way as we go back to Ontario with her as the summer starts. I want to make sure her knees are good and they stay good. Because I'm going to tell you what, she is a serious customer. Very, very nice filly. So I was thoroughly pleased with her. Judy's Money ended up finishing up good, as did Highest Honors, and I just got by Steady Volo. He was good again. An extremely good set. I know Amy was, anytime you're getting a little bit of a dust up on the track, you're always embarrassed, you're angry at yourself, or you're frustrated with something that went on. And as I told Joey and as I told Amy, these are babies. They need to learn. We didn't just break them yesterday. There's a certain amount of respect that needs to be adhered to on the track by the horses. And then at the end of the day, it's very simple. Rose Run Bobby is exactly where Megan's Lucky Day was 3 weeks ago. And she's going to be exactly where Megan's Lucky Day was shortly thereafter. Now the difference is I can't road on her hard. I can't work her too hard. She has her, issues that she always was dealing with from the sale. I think she had an OCD removed when she was young. There's a sesamoid that looks like it might bother her in the future. So you can't just, and these may be things that are causing this also. So you got to be careful as you tread forward. You can't just march forward with your head down. I have to keep an eye on Bobby, but at the same time, her biggest problem right now is the same problem all the young competitors have, and go through every single one of them, good and bad, that we've ever had. It just seems like they get to the spring and they want to be renegades. That's fine. I can help you with that. And that's exactly what is going to happen with old Bobby. And that isn't hard or fast work. It's just consistent work is what she's going to face over the next 2 weeks. And she'll be fine, just like the rest of them are. I told you that Megan's Lucky Day was a little troll a month ago. Acting up, leaping, making breaks, just being completely disrespectful and disobedient. And I don't know if I've ever seen an Uncle Peter or any breed conform as quickly as she did. It was maybe a week, 8-9 days of pretty heavy lifting work. Then she just came out and she decided, you know what? It's not so bad anymore. And that's exactly where old Bobby girl is headed. Everybody else was great. Now, I had to leave in a hurry, as you can tell. Certainly didn't have enough time for another set. I barely have enough time to get to the track on time. So I asked Jason. Now, Justin, I was on the track. Now, Justin had come in and I said, hey, Justin Irvine, I said, would you do me a favor? I know you're busy. I know you got your own horses to go with. I got to go. We don't have an extra rider to go with the horse, and I need somebody to go with the horse that I think very highly of in Sweet Lake. And he said, yeah, okay, no problem. So I asked Jason, I said, now, Justin was going out the door, and I said, hey, so here's the scoop with Sweet Lake. Drive her like she's a racehorse, not like a baby. And you'll understand what I mean when you get on the track with her. When you put her in gear, put the bit in her mouth, and she might act like she's approaching top speed, she's not even scratching the surface. Just hit her a little tap on the tail with the bit in her mouth, and she'll come right out of her harness and come forward. And that's apparently what had happened. Jason McGinnis said that riding the rodeo, running in a little bit, again, big filly, maybe her knees are pinching her a little bit. She always did wear a Murphy blind head pole anyway. So that's an easy fix. She did not have the Murphy blind on today. And I told Jason, I said, that's my fault. I was in a rush getting out the door. She wears a Murphy blind and head pole on the left every time she trains, just so you know. We will look at why did she seem sore. And he said, no, she was on the right line a little bit. I said, okay, so we'll get her looked at also. Perfect Thought was, I guess her and Sweet Lake were 1-2. I don't know the official finish. I was just hearing from Jason as he was telling me about riding the rodeo. She was good. All the other pacers in that set did their work well also. There was no concerns from either of the last 2 sets. Again, a little bit of a generic broad statement, but that's what I got from Jason. He said the 2 horses that were 1-2 were Perfect Thought and Sweet Lake. Everybody else did their work very well. And in the 6th set, he said, Anthony, that was the best set of the day. They were all perfect. Uncle Danny, Zena Kemp, Go Strong, Hanover, Rico Tubbs, Jailbird Jog, and Aunt Sarah. He said everybody was right there across the track, and everybody was perfect. So a great day. Great day. The track held up good. I don't know what it'll be like tonight with all the rain coming. I have no idea. All I can tell you is this. The sets were good this morning, and as I say it out loud, we might have had 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most horses made breaks this morning. That's it. So a pretty good day at the office, really. The 3 horses I was working on all trained good. Somebody messaged me and said, did you get the splints done on an ACDC yet? Hold on. No, we blistered them yesterday. The weekend will be the earliest that we can get them done, and we will. So that's the plan right now. We have maybe 5 or 6 horses that have to have splints cryo. We have a couple of horses I want to talk to Dr. Mike and Dr. Katie about, Blue Rare being the first one. Have them look at riding the rodeo also, make sure there's nothing going on there that we should be on top of any more than we are. But I was very, very happy with the way that things look today. One update, I'll have to give this in another update also. Admiral Deal can't go tomorrow in the qualifiers. He has to be off 14 days when you pull him up like that. So there's nothing we can do. Can't go we could go to the Meadows Tuesday, but what's the point? We'll just come back Thursday with him. So he had to miss 2 weeks. My apologies. I didn't realize it was a strict 14-day rule. I thought it was like 7, 10. You can put him in to qualify. It's 14 days on the shelf. So we'll get him in next Thursday. I'm going to go with Grand Slam Deal with Melisandre in early. Now, the only problem is there was only 2 qualifiers for trotters. So Westland Warrior, maybe I'll get Justin or somebody to go with Westland Warrior tomorrow. He may need 2 qualifiers anyway, but I definitely want to go with Grand Slam Deal, who's going over to Ontario, and Melisandre, who I've been waiting a long time to go with. So that is what took place today. 5 remain to qualify tomorrow. I'm almost here. Bluebird Tuxedo Hill races in about half an hour, and not even 25 minutes. And Mounds for All also today. So interested about today. Tonight we get Century Legion, and then a busy rest of the week. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. I'll probably give you an update later on. I'm only race 1 and 2, so maybe I'll wait and give you one later on. We'll see. But for now, you are completely up to date with all that went on today. Take care.